What up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm MoedotJ and we are locked in. Episode 8 was one of the best episodes we've seen in Power Book 2. But we really want to know what happened between Carrie and Monet and what led up to this to get to the point that Carrie was left hanging from a ceiling. So we want to know, did Monet have something to do with this, or was this Carrie all on her own? But all of this stems from Zeke and Carrie messing with Zeke when Monet told her several times to cut it out. But before we break this down, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel, you want to be a part of it, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button, it's the easiest thing you can do. Now we're going to break down all of the situations between Carrie and Monet just from this season to see what happened at the end. Was this something Monet did, or did Carrie go ahead and execute this by herself? So let's jump into it. This is the feud between Monet and Carrie that led to the ending of episode 8. We have to take it back to where all of this started. Monet has had an exit plan in her mind, and that was taking Ezekiel Cross, having him declared to the draft, and then the family following him around. Her being the manager, Diana in charge of the finances, Drew as the babysitter, and Kane is Kane. Now, since he declared for the draft, Monet has told Zeke specifically, leave Carrie alone. You need to end that because that's bad. You don't want anyone to find out that you were messing with a teacher. It's just bad publicity, especially when you're trying to enter the draft. Now, Zeke, he goes over to Carrie's house. He goes over here to tell her, I'm declaring for the draft. She's congratulating him on that. And she knows that she's wrong for messing with a student. Even though he's 23, he thinks he's 18. She knows she is wrong. So she tells him, good for that. He walks out. Now, the bad thing about this is when he leaves, Detective Kevin, he watches and he sees Zeke come out of the house. We know that he's in charge of the Jabari case, what's going on campus. He's also a little bit jealous because he used to mess around with Carrie. Now, Zeke does come in here and he ends it with Carrie. That's a good thing. The only thing is, the detective sees him come out of this, and now he's questioning Carrie, and he's upset because he wants to find out, who is this Ezekiel Cross guy, and why are you having him come from your house? Carrie, not taking what Zeke told her, she decides to meet him in the woods. Now, this text message comes to Zeke, and it looks like it's one coming back, but he doesn't respond. So when she gets in the truck, she finally gets a message from Zeke that says almost there, followed by a window breaking and Monet hopping in. Now, I don't know if that text message was sent from Monet to set up Carrie for this moment, but Monet hops in here, and I can tell you this. Carrie is scared out of her mind because there's a gun to her head and they're out in the woods because it was supposed to be a low-key meeting with Zeke. All she had to do is respect what Zeke asked and ended it. But instead, she tries to meet up with him again. Now, Monet is very upset because, you know, she has a plan and she's trying to let Carrie know, if I see you again, we're going to have big problems. Now, I know me, if someone pulls a gun on me and they told me something like this, oh, you ain't got to worry about it. I won't even be his counselor at school anymore. Let alone, I got to drive home with a busted out back window. Now, the beef between these two is starting to pick up and grow and grow and grow. We officially see that Monet isn't playing. Now, Carrie, she has a lot going on. And the next time that they talk, you know Monet is very upset because she didn't want to have another conversation with Carrie. This next conversation comes after Zeke's been sitting in an interrogation room with Detective Kevin for over 12 hours. Monet calls Carrie and lets her know, whatever you're doing, quit it. Now, Zeke, he's been in there and he's been standing strong. Carrie, she didn't admit that she was sleeping with a student to Detective Kevin, and Zeke did the same thing. He told Detective Kevin there is nothing going on between the two of us. Now, Monet finally gets him out of jail. So when she calls Carrie, what she's doing is saying, listen, stop running your mouth. Don't worry about Zeke anymore. I got him out of here. Carrie brings up, oh, is he okay? Did they find another suspect? Is there another witness or something? And Monet is saying, you don't need to worry about that. Zeke is out of here. But we know what Carrie is doing. She's trying to get all the eyeballs and attention off of her for being a professor messing with a student. And we've seen that she manipulated Lauren to wear the wire to try to figure out if Tariq had something to do with this. So Monet is separating her and Zeke away from Carrie because this is going to get ugly with everything being mixed up. And Monet knows who killed Jabari and Ramirez. So at least she protected Zeke. And we know he gets a special treatment compared to everybody else. This leads us to the last interaction between Monet and Carrie. Now Carrie's at home and she just had a long day. We know she took the witness stand because Tariq told her to do the right thing. Davis went up there and exposed her. So now it came out under oath that she, a professor, was sleeping with a student, Ezekiel Cross, along with Detective Kevin and Davis and maybe me. But that's neither here or there. When she's at home, she's sipping the wine because she's thinking about a lot. And her boss, the dean, Wong, says, can you come in a little early tomorrow? Now, you know, if your boss texts you after hours and they don't tell you specifically what you need to come in and do tomorrow, hey, can you come in early to open this up or do this? If they just say come in a little early tomorrow, you know you're in trouble. So she knows she should back down out of this. But right after this, we get a text message from Zeke asking, can they see each other? Now, when they were in the truck, we don't know if that was Monet texting for Zeke or if it was a real text message. It makes me wonder, is this a real text message or is it a mother's intuition that Monet knew her son would come over here and she texts? We don't know yet, but we get the text message from Zeke and then we get a knock on the door and guess who it is? It's Monet. And what she comes in to do is talk to Carrie. This is right after the big dinner scene where Diana blew up the spot on everyone in the family. And long story short, she's telling Carrie, everything you done with Zeke, you need to leave that alone because at this point, Monet is on her own. The family, they pushed her out. She had to leave. So she tells Carrie, as long as you're living, my boy won't come to me. So this has me wondering with a couple of theories. Did Monet kill Carrie or did she force Carrie to commit suicide and hang herself up? Because I'm looking at the clothes that Monet is wearing and there's no way that she went over there and physically tied her up and made her do this. So Carrie could have committed suicide. And then there's another theory. Did Monet call Dante to help get rid of Carrie to protect their son? After Monet leaves, Zeke shows up. So I'm assuming that was him actually texting. And when he comes into the apartment, he sees Carrie hanging from the ceiling. Now he's the last person in here. I don't know if he's going to be the one to call the cops, but this is going to look very bad, especially on the family with him showing up after we just found out that Carrie was sleeping with him in the trial. Now, my two strongest theories is Monet threatened her with a gun to go ahead and kill herself to remove herself from Zeke's life. That's my main theory. And the second theory is Carrie went ahead and committed this suicide because of everything that was on the table and it could all be exposed. Now I'm really leaning towards it was a forced suicide by Mary, aka Monet, but I want to hear what you guys got to say about this. All right, there you go. The beef between Carrie and Monet and how it came to an end. Let me know what your theory is on Monet and Carrie. Do you think that Monet assisted in this or Monet actually did it or Carrie did it after Monet left and it's just a regular suicide with a suicide letter saying she apologizes for everything? Let me know what you guys think. I'm MoedotJ. If you like the content on the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.